something like MATLAB, it would be a little bit easier, but this will be easy in Excel. Right, so basically what I'm doing is I know it's a value of 0, so it's that 60 times 0 squared plus 40 times 0.
So that'd be 14 on the first term should be squared?
No, because it's, yep, it should be. Thanks. So this term, B14 should be squared. Right, and then this value we want to do dollar signs for, because we don't want it to change. And this one we don't want to change. Right, because we're going to pull from that same 60 and 40 for each alternative. And then, right, so then we're going to copy, we can copy this all the way down. Right, so you're there. So now, what we're going to do, I like things centered. Yeah, I don't have OCD at all. So now we're going to do this quantity times this value squared plus this times this. And we're going to dollar signs again. Wait, I don't know why they're referencing that. It should be strength. How it's spelled? Strength of preferences. There we go. And we're gonna there we go. Right, so now we have these values. And then we're going to do the same thing for this. Squared plus this times. Okay, so now we have the value times the strength of preference information. What we can do is we can get a value for the value, right? And what we're going to do is we have these three weights, and that's what we're going to try to solve for, right? So the value of this graph is going to, this hypothetical alternative is going to be this times weight 1 plus the range times weight 2 plus the number of passengers times weight 3. And if we absolute reference those, right, so this gives us now a value for our hypothetical alternatives that we're looking at. The optimization is going to do it. So I could put in anything. I can put in 0, 0, 0. Basically, all I needed to do is control that cell in a certain way. That's all I care about. All right, I could do even 1, 1, 1. Doesn't really matter. It just we're gonna solve for the weight, so I just need to reference the relative weight. That's all I care about. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to set up some constraints. All right. So let's just say I went through this, and I say I prefer C to B, right? Kind of what we talked about in class. I prefer B to A. I prefer F to E. I prefer E to D. I prefer G to I, and I prefer I to H. Right? We also have that delta constraint, so that when we talked about it, we said one of the things that we were concerned about is the idea that when we do optimization, we typically set them up as inequalities, which means a less than or